Good evening, movie nerds, and welcome to the Sci-Fi Movie Guy Weekly Show. This is my first show ever on the air for the weekly show, and it's going to be broken out into 3 segments. The first segment is always going to be Star Wars news. So that's anything in the world of Star Wars. We could be talking about The Force Awakens, Rogue One, the Han Solo movie, Star Wars Rebels, anything to do with the comic books, as long as it's canon. We might even talk about a little bit that isn't canon, but mostly it's going to be canon stuff. Then we're going to break into the segment 2, which is sci-fi movie news. So basically, it's anything in the world of movies, science fiction that I happen to be watching that isn't Star Wars. And then finally, we're going to have Mike's Pick of the Week. So that's something that I'm just going to tell you about a movie that I've seen recently, but it's from a long time ago. So I'll get you caught up on that in a minute, but let's start right out with Star Wars news. So the first piece of news that we have is the Force Awakens DVD Blu-ray release. So that's coming out on April 5th. Now, on April 1st, which is just a couple of days ago, the digital release came out. Now, I haven't bought the digital release because I was waiting for the DVD with all the extras and the bonus footage and the commentaries, or so I thought. Now, I'm a little pissed off because I don't think that there should be a DVD or Blu-ray without commentaries. But that's what I'm hearing. I don't have it yet, but I'm hearing that there are 0 commentaries on this. Now, from what I hear, there's a 1-hour special. So we're going to get a behind-the-scenes 1-hour special showing different scenes that we haven't seen yet, like where the behind-the-scenes making of the movie, J.J. Abrams talks about some of the casting. I don't know if you remember that black and white shot of the first reading with all the actors, but we're actually going to see that live, a little piece of that. We're also going to see some of the behind-the-scenes footage with regards to the making of the special aliens. They're going to walk us through the little alien shop where they make them all. But no commentaries. Yeah, that's right, no commentaries. J.J. Abrams couldn't take a couple hours out of his time, sit down, watch the movie, and make a commentary for us. And I'm pissed off because that was the thing I was looking forward to the most. Now, thank God, Collider Video and the guys on Jedi Council are going to be doing their own commentary. I think it's already taped, and they're going to release it on the same day as the Blu-ray. So at least I'm going to have them to watch, and they're a blast to watch. But yeah, no commentaries. So I'm very disappointed. And also I'm a little disappointed about the digital release because one of the scenes, deleted scenes that I was really looking forward to was Maz Kanata underneath her bar when they're trying to escape and where Rey has her force vision. I guess there was another minute and a half of footage, but that's only going to be on the digital release. So the one that came out on the 1st, if you download that from iTunes or Google Play, you'll get that deleted scene, but that's not on the Blu-ray or the DVD. So this just sounds like a way of Disney making more money by having to buy it twice. And you know what? I've been a real fan of Disney up until this point, but it irks me. I just feel like it's a money grab for us fans. And let's face it, we spent just about $1 billion worldwide to go see this movie. I don't know about you, but I've seen it 4 times in the theaters. And so I have spent my money, but I'm still going to buy it. But come on, guys, get your shit together. Let's do it right. Now I'm going to have to wait probably 6 months for a special edition Blu-ray to come out to get a commentary. So that's just their way of making more money. I'll stop complaining now because it was a great film. I'm so happy Disney bought the franchise and took it in this direction, but that's my irk for the day. Next, we get on to Daisy Ridley. It's reported that she hurt her wrist, whether it was in pre-production or just getting ready to do some of the stunt coordination. She injured her wrist. We're not sure if she broke it or tore some ligaments, but they say she's fine. She's in the gym working out. If you go to StarWarsNews.net, they've got some pictures of her on there working out, and that girl looks buff. She's ready for Star Wars Episode 8. So don't worry, she's ready to go. Now, if you go to also StarWarsNews.net, by Viral Hide, that's the name of the person that put this up, or that's their Twitter handle or YouTube handle, they put up a little fan, I call it a trailer, they're calling it a fan film, and it is called Path of a Lightsaber. So it shows how Luke's lightsaber got from when he first got it, and it shows Anakin when Anakin had it, and it just goes through the life of that lightsaber and how it wound up on Michael Skellig Island when Rey hands it to Luke in The Force Awakens. It's very well done by a fan, so hats off to you, viral hide. Hats off to you because it was really well done. There was just one scene in it where Luke and Darth Vader are fighting with Luke's green lightsaber from Return of the Jedi, his new one, which I didn't think had to be in there if you're really just showing the path of that lightsaber, because we all know it gets cut off Luke's hand. When Luke's hand gets cut off by Darth Vader in Empire Strikes Back, the lightsaber and the hand go flying down the shaft. I've heard that there's some mythology about that where they found it later on in space, floating in space with Luke's hand, and somehow it got to Maz Kanata. I don't know if we'll ever see that in Star Wars, but I think that would be a really cool, 10-minute thing if somebody made a viral video about that part of it, the spaceship that found it. So we're going on to the Obi-Wan spin-off movie. So reports have it that they're looking at doing a spin-off movie of Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I got to tell you, I'm super excited about this. Ewan McGregor has been in many meetings with Disney and Kathleen Kennedy, but he's not really saying anything. All he's saying is that, yeah, it would be great to do this. I think it would be even cool if they made a trilogy, because I think there's a lot of stories to be told from when he drops Luke off on Tatooine at the end of Star Wars 3, and when you pick up A New Hope, when I think he's around 22 years old in A New Hope, Luke Skywalker is. So you got him from a baby to 22 years old, and Obi-Wan couldn't have been sitting on that planet for 22 years. He definitely had a spaceship because he had to get there. So he could have had his own spaceship, and he could have been flying maybe an X-wing fighter and gone off to help some of the cause here and there. So I would really love to see that, but it sounds like for sure we're getting one standalone. And with those standalones, Lucasfilm was pretty clear early on that we weren't going to see any kind of trilogies out of those standalones. So when we get Rogue One, it's one movie and that's it. Now, not to say that if these characters are beloved and they make a lot of money, that Disney isn't going to look at doing it. But right now, that's the story and they're sticking to it. Then we get into Darth Vader number 18 comic came out this week. And I read it. It was okay. I'm not going to give away any spoilers on this show. So I would highly recommend picking it up. If you don't read comics, like go to your comic book store and buy them. You can also download them at Comixology, and that's comics with an X. So if you do everything online, then you can just download it there. That's what I did. I do collect comics. I go to my local comic book store on White Ave in Edmonton, but it's called Warp One, by the way. And so you could do it either way. I like having a physical comic for some of them. I like downloading some of them just for convenience sake because I live a little bit outside of Edmonton. But it's worth a read, definitely. I've really liked the Darth Vader series in comics. And then we get to Star Wars Rebels, Twilight of the Apprentice, Season 2 finale. I got to tell you, this was the best episode all season long. Probably, in my opinion, the best episode of all of Star Wars Rebels. It had all the lightsaber battles I wanted. It had the intrigue. It had the dark side. I'm not going to give away any spoilers. If you want to see my spoilers review, please go on to my YouTube channel and you can watch my Star Wars Rebels Twilight of the Apprentice spoilers review. And I appreciate all the people that have watched it so far. But the one thing that I am going to say is I was a little surprised with the ending. So when you watch the ending, it wasn't what I expected for a wrap up of the show. Go again, watch my spoilers review, and you'll see my full comments. Then we get to little news about the standalone Han Solo film. So Taron Egerton is rumored to be the favorite for young Han Solo. He was the guy in The Kingsman. If you haven't seen that movie, definitely worth a watch. I would highly recommend it. I like Taron Egerton for the Han Solo. Now, just because that's the rumors out there and that's rumored to be the favorite doesn't mean that that's what Disney's going to do. They have a tendency of releasing false rumors and then going with an unknown, which I would also be happy with because they have a real good track record with unknown actors. For example, Han Solo really wasn't doing anything when he started Star Wars. Daisy Ridley, she's amazing. So either way, I'm good with it. But thought I'd let you know that Taron Egerton is rumored to be the favorite. Then we get into Rogue One. So not much in the Rogue One not much in the Rogue One news this week, but we do have that Force Friday is going to be in about 6 months from now, where they're going to release all the toys for Rogue One, which I'm excited about. I don't know if you remember Force Friday before The Force Awakens, when at your Disney store and Best Buy and Walmart, they came out with a few different things, and they have exclusive rights on certain toys. Walmart has some, the Disney store has some, Target in the United States has some. So definitely looking forward to that. I'm going to let you know when they finally announce a date for that. But I do a little bit of collecting. So now with Rogue One as well, they're saying in the fall they're going to release a prequel novel. So it's probably the events that happen right before the Rogue One movie. I'm going to guess maybe a month. It's going to be 1 month before, and it'll just give you a little more insight into the characters of Rogue One. So I'm definitely going to read it. Now, I don't like to read paperback books. So what I do is I usually download them from Amazon. So you can definitely do that. I just did that with Lords of the Sith. It's a fantastic book. It's Darth Vader in his prime, and him and Emperor Palpatine, they get stuck on a planet, and you really see Darth Vader go at it. He's a killing machine. If you remember from the Clone Wars when they really got to show Anakin in his prime, well, this is Darth Vader in his prime when he's in the suit. So definitely worth a read. And they're also doing a 3-issue comic book of Rogue One right before the movie comes out. So I'm guessing it'll just be maybe the day before Rogue One starts, a quick 3-issue comic book just to get fans up to date. So I'm definitely going to do that too. Now, a lot of people are asking, when is the Rogue One trailer coming out? And I'm pretty excited for this trailer. And I don't know if you remember, but the Force Awakens trailer came out over a year before the movie did. And that was to get the hype going. But now we've got a whole bunch of other Disney movies that they've been trying to get done first. So The Jungle Book, Captain America Civil War, and those all have to be hyped up properly. So they're going to hype Rogue One after that. I think, though, that they're going to drop a Rogue One trailer, just a teaser trailer, at the Jungle Book. Might not see any characters, just hear Darth Vader's breathing, a lightsaber noise, a couple of graphics, and then the full trailer I think they're going to drop at Captain America Civil War. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm expecting. So I was planning on seeing both of those movies anyway, just on their own merits. So it'll just be a really cool bonus if they drop a Rogue One trailer at either of those. I'll be watching on YouTube pretty much every day, though, just to see if it does come out. And finally, Screen Rant decided to pull a little April Fool's joke, and they said Zack Snyder was filming a standalone Star Wars film in 2016, and it was going to be an alternate universe, samurai movie sort of with Jedi and Inquisitors, and it was supposedly taking place at the same timeline as The Force Awakens. Now, they left it up for about half a day, and then it was come out that it was an April Fool's joke. And I'm sure all those people that slagged Batman v Superman were extremely happy that Zack Snyder is not doing a Star Wars movie. I liked Batman v Superman a lot, and you can check out my spoiler review of that on my YouTube channel as well and hear my thoughts on that. But I don't think that Zack Snyder would have made a really good director for any of the Star Wars movies because he relies so heavy on CGI. And I'm not a fan. Not a huge fan of the first three that basically were almost all CGI and green screen done. I like the stories and like I didn't hate them like a lot of people out there did, but they weren't my favorites. So Zack Snyder directing a Star Wars movie, not really my cup of tea. So I'm glad it was an April Fool's joke and good job, Screen Rant. So then we get into part two of this weekly show, and it's sci-fi movie news. And I guess we're going to start with what just came out, Batman v Superman. Again, I have a spoilers review on my YouTube channel. You can watch that if you want some spoilers. But this movie, I liked it a lot. I gave it a 7.5 out of 10, and I stand by that. I've seen it twice in the theaters now, and it was really well done. Batman was the best Batman we've ever seen. Superman took a little darker of a turn from Man of Steel, which I liked. I think it was about time Superman got a little angry about something. He's taken a lot of crap from the world, and it was about time that he fought back a little bit. The fight scene between Batman and Superman in this movie are incredible. All the stuff you've seen in the trailers times 10. So if you haven't seen this movie and you're listening to all the critics out there and all the bandwagon jumpers that are listening to them, then they haven't even seen the movie, or they've seen the movie but they went in with a really sour note saying it's a horrible movie. It's not a horrible movie. Just go in wanting to enjoy a Batman and Superman movie, and you will enjoy it. You'll find joy in this movie. Well done. Little problems with the cuts, the way Zack Snyder cut the film, but I'm going to reserve judgment in full until they release the 3-hour version on the DVD Blu ray, because that's how Zack Snyder first cut this movie. So it was on 3 hours when he handed it into the studio, all final cut. And they said, there's no way that we can have a 3-hour Batman v Superman movie in the theaters. So he had to go back. He had to chop out a half an hour. And I think that's probably what happened, because when you take a 3-hour well cut movie and try to turn it into a 2.5 hour movie, it's not going to flow the way that you want it to. And this movie didn't flow all that great. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Again, you can go back to my spoiler review and see all of my thoughts on that. But 7.5 out of 10. Spend your money, go to the theater and see this movie. It's totally worth it. I think they almost got 200 million on opening weekend, so it can't be that bad of a movie. Now, Captain America Civil War, that's coming out on May 8th, and I'm pretty excited about this movie. I loved the Iron Man movies. I thought Iron Man 2 was a big setup movie for the Avengers, which I'm okay with setup movies, just like Batman v Superman's a setup movie for Justice League. It took a lot of heat, but I really liked all the Iron Man movies, and I liked the first Captain America movie, and Winter Soldier was okay. But when we look at this movie, the trailers have been amazing. Although I could have done without the Spider-Man reveal. I think it would have been cool if they just revealed Spider-Man in the movie instead of in that last trailer. But other than that, trailers have been great. The Iron Man versus Captain America fight looks incredible. And then when both sides of the Avengers are fighting each other, I'm guessing that'll probably be near the end of the movie. I'm really looking forward to that fight scene. So definitely going to be there on opening night. And so right after opening night, I'm going to come home and do a non-spoiler review that evening. It'll probably be around midnight. I'll drop it on YouTube, and hopefully it'll be up when you wake up in the morning. And then I'm going to go watch it again on the Friday or Saturday. Me and my buddy Gil, we usually go watch it at the VIP theater on Friday or Saturday whenever we can get tickets. And then I'll do a spoilers review after that. And I'm hoping to have Gil on the show with me, so there'll be two of us. And we usually don't see eye to eye on movies. I'm a big DC guy and he's a big Marvel guy, so it'll be a great back and forth about what was good. And he'll probably slag me a little bit on that show about my Batman v Superman, because I think he gave it a 3 out of 10. He really hated it. So look forward to that coming up May 8th. And then we've got some other things coming up. Star Trek Beyond, that's being released on July 22nd. And I'm really, really looking forward to Star Trek. Even though the first trailer that dropped wasn't very good, I didn't enjoy it. I thought the music that they used for it wasn't that great. I think it was Beastie Boys in the background. And you know what? I was in just graduating high school in the 90s when Beastie Boys were popular, and I didn't really listen to them, so that could have a bearing on it, but this is going to be a good movie. I skipped over, sorry, we have X-Men Apocalypse coming out on May 27th. I liked the first X-Men movie, Days of Future Past. I thought it was very well done. I gave it a 7 out of 10. This movie looks darker, and I think we're going to get a Wolverine reveal in this movie. I hope so, because then later on we have the Wolverine hashtag one last time coming out later on in or early on in 2017. So I hope they're going to, have a little bit of Wolverine in this movie to set up that movie. That's what I'm hoping for. And then we get Suicide Squad August 5th. In my next show, I'm going to talk quite a bit more about Suicide Squad because that is probably, other than Rogue One, my most anticipated movie of the year. Batman v Superman was, but I've seen it now, so now it's Suicide Squad that I'm really waiting for. I love Jared Leto as the Joker. I think Will Smith's going to do great in this movie as Deadshot. And I just love an idea of a movie about the villains where you're going to be rooting for the villains. I know it's a little twisted, but it's a take that we haven't seen a lot in the sci-fi world. So really looking forward to that as well. Now, I want to talk about the Divergent series and Allegiant. I've been so busy in the last month that I haven't had a chance to see this movie yet. And it's not getting good reviews. And I really like the first two movies in this series. Thought they were well put together. I mean, I think, I'd give them both 6.5 out of 10. And for me, that's good for a sci-fi movie. I mean, very few movies will get 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10 from me. Star Wars The Force Awakens, I gave that a 9.5 out of 10. Empire Strikes Back is about the only one that I can think that would be a 10 out of 10 for me. That's my favorite Star Wars movie. So I haven't gone and seen this in the theaters, so I'm kind of breaking my own rule because I do love to see movies in the theaters. So I might wait another couple of weeks and then just go catch it in the theaters before it comes out. I would like to see it in IMAX, but just because of the reviews out there, I've been waiting a little longer. Usually in my little hometown, you can go see a movie a couple weeks before it comes out of the theaters and there'll be two of you in the theater. So again, I like when theater's full and you get the fan reaction. So I kind of dropped the ball on this one, but I have a feeling the friends that I have that have seen it said, Mike, it didn't live up to the first two. So we'll see. And that is the end of sci-fi movie news for this week. And I told you we were going to have Mike's pick of the week at the end. So what that is I'm going to remind you about a movie from the 80s or 90s or just recent past that was really great that maybe you haven't had a chance to see in a while. And you'll have to go dig out the old VHS tape and player. Hopefully you have one, or the DVD. Or I'm sure you can find it in iTunes and download it. And it's a classic. My pick of the week is Back to the Future #1. This movie had everything you want in a science fiction movie, and it's pretty cool that a time machine was made out of a DeLorean. If you're going to make a time machine out of something, a sports car is a pretty cool way to do it. Great actors in this movie. Christopher Lloyd, Michael J. Fox, Leah Thompson, even the crazy guy who plays Marty McFly's dad, whose name is escaping me right now. He's a little nuts. But yeah, overall, this was a fantastic movie. I watched it last week, thoroughly enjoyed it again. It stands the test of time, and I own the trilogy set. So I think this weekend, after I put this video up, I'm going to watch the other two because I don't have any plans this weekend. I'm just taking it easy. Like I said, the last month's been really busy for me. So that's it for my first weekly show. If you like it, I hope that you'll share this movie. You can see me, Mike, Sci-Fi Movie Guy on Twitter, and that's Movie Guy Sci-Fi. So at Movie Guy Sci-Fi on Twitter. And my email address is sci_fi_movieguy@yahoo.ca, and make sure you spell the SCI_FI_movieguy@yahoo.ca when you're doing that, and send me an email and I'll answer all the questions from the emails on the air. So keep it up, and remember, nerds rule the world.